Coming up, coronavirus cases and hospitalizations are going up in many states heading into the holiday weekend.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. More than 2.7 million coronavirus cases have been confirmed in the United States, and the governor of Texas has issued a new mandatory face mask policy. CBS's Chris Martinez has the latest from across the nation.
COVID is spreading like never before.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is ordering residents in counties with 20 or more COVID-19 cases to wear a face covering. His reversal on masks comes as Texas reported nearly 8,000 new cases Thursday. Texas and dozens of other states in the West and South are pausing or scaling back efforts to reopen businesses.
But this time, we want to do it without closing down Texas again.
In just 24 hours, more than 50,000 new COVID-19 cases were reported nationwide, the most of any single day so far. 37 out of 50 states now have rising case numbers. A top U.S. health official told Congress the trend is moving in the wrong direction.
We are not flattening the curve right now. The curve is still going up.
Here in Los Angeles County, the governor ordered all state beaches and parking lots to close over the holiday weekend. He's also asked all cities to cancel their fireworks shows.
We don't want to see you, a bunch of strangers, without being physically distanced and without wearing face coverings.
Florida saw a record-setting 10,000 new cases compared to a month ago when it was over 600.
I don't think anyone predicted a Sunbelt resurgence in mid-June, but we had the infrastructure in place, and we're a much better place to be able to deal with this as a result.
In New York, one of the few states that has flattened its curve, state officials say schools will reopen in the fall. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Caesars confirms 7 employees at the Harrah's Laughlin Resort in Nevada have tested positive for the coronavirus. Governor Beshear continues to urge Kentuckians to wear masks and follow guidelines as we head into the holiday weekend. Today, he announced 239 new cases of COVID-19. It raises the state's total to 16,079. The governor also says 9 more people have died. At least 581 Kentuckians have been lost to the virus, but more than 4,700 have recovered. We also learned from local health officials that Pike and Pulaski counties now have more than 100 cases, but not all of those are still active. Eastern Kentucky University says 3 student athletes and 3 athletic staff members have tested positive for COVID-19. EKU's vice president says those people have been isolated. The athletics department will also alter schedules for voluntary workouts. EKU is also working with health officials to notify anyone who may have been exposed to the virus. The places those who tested positive have also been cleaned. In the month of June, Laurel County saw a spike in COVID-19 cases, their numbers jumping from just 21 cases in March through May to more than 100 cases in June alone. They now have 145 cases in the county, 92 of which are active. WYMT's Emily Bennett spoke to the executive director of the health department about this spike and precautions to take going into a holiday weekend.
With just a glance of this graph, you can see the increase in COVID-19 cases across Laurel County.
June the 4th is when we started seeing a spike in cases.
Laurel County Health Department Executive Director Mark Hensley says part of this spike is because of more testing in the county.
We have doubled our testing capacity in the month of June.
Testing around 800 people each week.
First Care is doing most of our testing right now.
He says they have not seen cases connected to churches or other large gatherings.
In Laurel County, we feel that most of our cases are, and especially for the month of June, has been community spread. And we feel like it is community-wide here, the virus.
And as cases spike across the country, Hensley is urging people to be smart about their holiday plans.
You want to research those areas that you may be traveling to and see if those communities have seen a spike.
wanting people to realize traveling increases the risk of contracting the virus and bringing it back to the community.
This may be to change course and do something as a family together. You know, maybe going camping, maybe going hiking, or just, you know, spending time with each other.
Hoping people will stay smart and patient.
This is a pandemic. This is something that's not going away on its own.
In Laurel County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
In Laurel County, they are also seeing younger people contracting the virus, with the average age being 38 in the month of June.
Saw more sunshine today and a beautiful sunset, and these gorgeous and hot and humid conditions going to continue as we head into your Friday. Let's go and take you up to that UVA WISE camera where you could see the sunshine we saw earlier. We saw a few clouds. They cleared out just in time for a gorgeous sunset. Got a few sunset pictures over on my Facebook page if you want to see a few more of those this evening. As we look over into downtown Whitesburg, quiet and clear, 68 degrees right now. The dew point in about the mid-60s, so a little bit on that muggy side, and we could definitely see a little bit of some patchy dense fog late tonight, early into tomorrow. But temperatures across the area, kind of a wide range. Upper 60s, lower 70s into Harlan, Williamsburg, over into Somerset and London. Jackson closer to kind of those mid to even upper 70s, 76 degrees in Jackson and Pikeville, 75 up towards Moorhead. So a little bit of a wide range of temperatures. It's still 84 in Louisville, so pretty warm over there. Now for tonight, we'll actually stay kind of where we are. Most of us dropping right around 67 degrees. Could see that patchy fog late tonight, and especially as you're headed out the door, if you are headed out the door Friday, if you still have to go to work. We do see more sunshine, though, heading into the next several days. Those hot temperatures really return by the time we get into your holiday weekend. And yeah, we're going to bring back a few rain chances, possibly this weekend, but mostly into that new work week. I'll have more details on that coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you very much, Paige. A 4-year-old Letcher County girl is finally home after spending nearly 500 days fighting leukemia. New at 11, WYMT's Dakota Makris met with the family after a welcome home parade through the community.
The faint sound of a car horn, a caravan bringing little Lainey Webb home.
Lainey was hanging out the window hollering, "Hi, I'm home, I'm home."
The 4-year-old spent 495 days, more than a quarter of her life, battling cancer. On February 23, 2019, doctors diagnosed Lainey with acute myeloid leukemia.
She had her first bone marrow transplant on June 3rd, 2019. And then in November, we were told that the cancer had came back.
She received her second transplant this past March. Months later, her friends and neighbors were finally able to welcome her home.
People I don't even know that have just learned about Lainey by us posting on Facebook and everybody sharing, pray for this little girl, she needs it.
Lainey's fight touching more lives than she knows.
It's helped me, it's helped. You wouldn't believe the people that has reached out to several members of my family and talked to us about how watching what the Lord has done for Lainey has led them to find him.
Walking into her home with her papa and cousin, excited to see her toys.
She lit up 50 different colors. And it warmed my heart because my little sister, she's just like my sister. And it was just awesome. I never thought I'd see that day again.
2 words that mean the world to this family: I'm home.
So much love, and so grateful, It was more than I imagined I would feel.
Concentrating on what matters to a 4-year-old.
She knew where she was, and she went straight in and grabbed them toys.
As she settles in, making up for lost time. In Letcher County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
If you would like to stay up to date with Lainey's journey, we have a link to her Facebook page on our website, WYMT.com. A Narcan training event organized by several local partners was hosted at the Mountain Arts Center today. The event provided training on how to respond to an overdose situation and provided addiction recovery resources. Those who trained received 4 units of Narcan to keep on hand in the event of an emergency. Organizer Sean Allen has seen the true impact of that preparedness.
In 2003, I overdosed, and because the EMTs were on hand and had Narcan. I'm standing here in front of you today with over 8 years clean. Now that was in 2003. I didn't get clean for another 9 years, but it gave me a shot. It gave me a second chance at life.
Sean Allen, who you might remember used to be a reporter here, has an amazing story. He says he hopes to have more events like this in the future to help spread the training to others and save more people who are in the place he once was. New at 11, the removal of the Jefferson Davis statue from Kentucky's Capitol Rotunda will cost the state more than $200,000. The Lexington Herald Leader reports the governor's administration is paying a Lexington company $225,000 to remove and relocate the Confederate statue. The Properties Commission voted to move the statue to the Jefferson Davis State Historic Site in Todd County. No replacement in the rotunda has been named. We have an update from the governor on driver's licenses. You will not have 90 days to renew your license. That is only if it expires on or after July 7th. If your license expires before then, you still have 3 months to renew it. Clerks can still issue licenses remotely. That's been extended through the end of September. And the grace period to register your car or boat has been extended to October 6th. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher says the city's police department will undergo a top-to-bottom review. The mayor announced a hiring of a Chicago-based consulting firm. Last month, he called for the review following protests and an outcry over the death of Breonna Taylor. The review is expected to cover training, use of force, bias-free policing, supervision, and community engagement. Investigators in Elizabethtown say homemade fireworks sparked a deadly home explosion. One person was killed and 5 others were hurt. ATF investigators say someone was preparing homemade fireworks when the explosion happened. They say it's likely the wrong chemicals were mixed together.
It was unlike anything I've ever seen in my career. It was very unusual.
The ATF is warning people to stay away from explosive devices that do not meet safety or quality standards of legally made fireworks. Prestonsburg will celebrate the 4th of July with COVID-19 in mind. A carnival is set up at Archer Park, offering hand sanitizer and hand washing stations near every attraction, and those attractions are spaced out to try to eliminate any close contact. Mayor Les Stapleton says it is a way to give kids a fun time as they wait for Saturday's fireworks, while also limiting the possible exposure to the virus.
There's not a lot of adult rides. It's more for kids to come enjoy. So we thought we could eliminate some of the rides where the bigger kids would be and they would congregate. So we've done everything we can to try to make something happen here and make it as safe as possible.
The carnival opens at 5 o'clock tomorrow night and 11 a.m. on Saturday. Stapleton says masks are encouraged and temperature checks will be ongoing at the entrance gate. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, while Americans celebrate the 4th of July with fireworks, the holiday can be difficult for veterans. Hear from one vet who's trying to change that.
And we'll see that sunshine continue into the weekend. A few rain chances are in that 7-day forecast. I'll tell you when to expect those coming up.